back in school, you really want to be cool for the ones that you'll never see again once you leave school. And there is a reason for that, because people are on their own journeys and their own paths. You cannot be mad if someone doesn't hit you up when you graduate, because they're going on their own journey and their own path of life. And don't ever put yourself in someone else's shoes, meaning don't view yourself or picture yourself to be like somebody else. Picture yourself and picture like what you're doing, and you gotta envision it as much as like you're there performing that show, you're there shooting that photo, you're there walking that catwalk, you're there doing what you want to do. You have to picture yourself in that mind state. Don't picture your favorite artist, like your favorite photographer, your favorite model, to do what you want to do, because that's what you want to do at the end of the day. They've already had the picture, they've already made themselves crazy with the idea of they're gonna do something, so they went out and did it. You have to be crazy enough to think you can be able to do a certain thing that you're gonna do. With me, I never thought I'd be making a YouTube video, I never thought I'd be talking on camera, I never thought I'd be cool to myself, honestly, because I didn't love myself. But now, like, you take some time and you learn different things. It's okay to be the kid that's sitting in front of the classroom. It's okay to be a nerd. You know what is really not okay to do at the end of the day? To not pay attention, to not learn anything. Because going through school, what I really do regret is I didn't retain any information that was taught to me. If I would have sat down and actually paid attention, actually learned, I would have ended up learning stuff that I can take into my adulthood and being out of school. So right now that I'm out of school, I have to learn a lot of different things. People say school doesn't teach you anything. Everywhere you go, you will learn something. You just got to be willing to learn. And in that situation, I was not willing to learn. So if I can tell someone that maybe school isn't for you at the end of the day, but always take the time to try to learn something new, because that's how you progress in your life. If you sit down with your head down, you come to school high, listen and the third, you're not gonna learn nothing. Of course, you look cool to all these little kids and listen and the third, but at the end of the day, are you cool in your mind? Did you get the knowledge for that day? And being cool is being smart at the end of the day. All the kids that people make fun of are really the cool kids, are really the smart kids, that because they have knowledge that they can take on to other people outside of school, knowledge that they'll be able to give their kids. One thing about me, that I'm trying to learn new things, I'm trying to read better, get better at math, because you know when you have kids, the school system is a lot different from when I was in school. So you have to end up keeping up with certain things. So you don't know anything, your child isn't gonna know anything at the end of the day. You always gotta learn to give certain information to your kids to let them know what not to do in their life. I've also learned that the internet and social media isn't what it seemed to be. When you're in school, you're really looking at people's perception of their success in their life, but really that's what they want to show you on the internet and on this app, and really they're not as successful as you think they are. I was always in the mindset in school of, let me get a little closer, because I was always in the mindset of school like, I don't care, this not going to benefit me, this and that and the third. But really, you should never really think like that. And now that I'm out of school, my way of thinking back then was so stupid. I was so dumb, because you can actually take information like science and stuff. I do a lot of science experiments now. Just little things can be experiments. Like it's a lot of shit you don't need, but the control variable, the dependent variables, and the independent variables, the control independent and dependent variables are certain things that you do need in your regular life, because you can run regular tests with regular different items, just like the items you brush your teeth with, or the items like you wash your face with. Like, you can read the box and like do experiments and see if these certain things work the way that the companies tell you they're supposed to work. I would never really want to disrespect a teacher. After you really get into a certain like grade level, you see that shit looks fucking stupid at the end of the day. So if you're one of them young kids disrespecting your teachers to look like the class clown, just think about what all the class clowns before you and what the class clowns after you, because I'm sure you know people that was funny in school. Like, just look at what they're doing right now. If they're doing something productive and positive, or are they doing something negative? Are they selling drugs? Are they doing this and that and the third? Like, just pick your path, look at other people's paths, and see where you want to go down, what route you want to go down at the end of the day. Because learn from other people's failures, learn from other people's mistakes so you don't make the same mistakes. Because if you do make the same mistakes after seeing their failures, maybe you're supposed to walk down that path so you can learn something. Maybe the right path ain't the right path for you. Maybe you need to walk on this path right now so you can get on track to the right path at the end of the day. If that makes sense, if you are walking down in that light. But if you're not, just look at what someone that needs a little guidance. Look at their path and what route they're going on and try to do the exact opposite. Or take the positive things they're doing in their route and apply it to your route. Not gonna lie, you only really dress nice in school because you think school a fashion show. Honestly, once I got out of school, you buy clothes now and again, but it's really just, not gonna lie, I don't really wear jeans. I just wear like slacks and like dressy shit. That's my steez. But you really get out of what you were into when you were in school. Cause a lot of the people I looked up to and a lot of things that I used to want to do, I don't want to do anymore because I feel like I've grown out of it. Don't make a permanent change to your body or permanent change to anything that you know you're gonna regret in a few years. If you think in your mind, I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna do this and third because it's cool now, wait a year before you do it at the end of the day to see if it's still cool to you in a year. Do not beat yourself up if you fail a test, fail something, this and that third, because life is all about failure. At the end of the day, with school has a grading system, and if you get all F's, they treat you and teach you like you're a failure. They throw you in all these special help classes and that and the third. But at the end of the day, that makes a kid like that fucks up a kid's mind. If he, because 99% of the time, a kid in high school isn't gonna be awakened spiritually, and that'll fuck up your mental and fuck up how you move. If you think that people are putting you in a specific category just because your skills. Another thing that I learned from being out of school, but I always apply this into my general life in general because it's something that you need to do. Be nice to everybody. Honestly, when you're in school, there's a lot of bullying going around. There's a lot of fakeness. Even if it's your friends, they may be a little fake to you. They may compliment you, but it'll be a backhand compliment if you know what I mean. Just always know who you are at the end of the day and always be nice to people at the end of the day because treat people how you want to be treated. If you don't want no one cursing at you, calling you this and that, do not do that to someone else. And I know teachers will be mean to you, call you out your name, this and that, third. But sometimes you just gotta step back, just listen, learn, take the information. Because at the end of the day, what I've learned since I'm out of school, a teacher is not there to hurt you. A teacher is there to help you and help you progress to the next stage, the next point in your life. Maybe it's not college at the end of the day. Do School will teach you fast for college, that's not a third. If college isn't your route, don't force college to be your route, but always keep an open mind about college. Because you can actually learn something if you don't take the time to go to the parties and that third. Sit down, study, and learn something. Because I feel like college is a middleman to me, but college you can learn something to take into the profession that you're doing. Do not go to college and then learn what you're doing and then go out and be a bartender for the rest of your life. Because I've seen that millions of times. You see it, niggas go to college and become a bartender or do this and that and the third. Things that they didn't go to school for. So if you're going to school, make sure you put the lessons that you learned into school into your everyday life. Because if you just learning stuff that you're not gonna put into your everyday life, you just wasting time being there. If you're gonna be there for 8 hours or however long you gonna be there, try to learn something. Honestly, always try to learn something because that 12 years you're there, all that 12 years of information, you can take that information and you can have a head start more than someone like me that didn't take any information and now I have to learn everything as I go. Like, I'm still trying to learn mental math, bro. I still counting my fingers and that the third. Like, I don't know certain things because school is building blocks. You have to get every single block And if you're missing a couple blocks, they're not gonna go back and teach you them blocks or teach you them steps. You have to go back and teach yourself them steps on your own. And with me, I never did that. I always did what I wanted to do after school. School ends when the bell rings, but your learning process and you learning about life should always keep going, should always keep spinning. Your brain should never turn off when school is done. Oh, and if you in school and you're really pressured to have a girlfriend, this and that, third, just know I was in school and I never had a girlfriend in school in my life, honestly, because I was always the kid with the baldy, not cool. Just really, because these girls are young girls, they're really trying to find themselves as well. Try to find yourself as well. Don't try to get with a girl because you feel like that's a cool thing to do. That'll maximize your popularity in school, because none of these kids really give a fuck about you. If you're really trying to use a girl as a trophy to show to your friends and show her off because you feel like that'll make you cool in general, you're a fucking loser. You need to change, bro. You need to change. Oh, and you know how there's like a 2-hour period, like first through seventh, each period is 2 hours. At least for me, at least each period was 2 hours after a while going up in school. Try to divide that within your life as well. Say you got 7 periods, 7 things to do. Try to divide each thing into 2-hour period, 3-hour period. Like, you can customize it to how you like it. But try to do shit like that as well, and that'll really help you to your next step. Because they divide each period into each different thing so you can learn a different thing, learn a new subject. But just take that blueprint and teach yourself different subjects that you want to learn within yourself. Because school is a blueprint, but the blueprint is to teach you to conform and get a regular job and be broke and shit like that. You got to teach yourself the blueprint, but with the shit you want. Well, use a blueprint, but just put the shit you want inside the blueprint. Inside the blueprint. Oh yeah, I know I touched on this before, but being fresh in school don't really matter. Honestly, if these kids only like you because the clothes you're wearing and not the content of your character, you shouldn't be around them in the first place. That's really all I have to say on that subject. That's all you need to know. Oh, and don't follow no trend, bro, because the trends die out. A lot of the trends that are big now, my mom is telling me, like, they were big back in the day. So everything is like a cycle. It's going to keep going and going and going. You always got to find your creativity and things that, your creativity and your passion. And, like, new things can surface by you just sitting back and you reflecting on the day. A new idea is just a reflection away. Oh, and one more thing I should really mention is if you don't want to go to college, you should get a trade, go to a trade school. I heard that's really good as well. I never really looked into it because the stuff I want to do, with me, I need to get experience learning it, doing it myself. But with certain things a trade is good for, like if you want to be a cosmetologist or you want to be a chef, go to a trade school and they'll help you with that specific thing. You don't really have to learn other things, you just gotta learn that specific thing. And then after, with some trade schools, they'll give you a job and put you in that field that you learned, like right off the bat. So I see that's like more of a positive than going to college, because within college right after you get out of school, you have to find the position, find the career for yourself. But within a trade, like, they'll help you out more. They're like more hands-on with shit like that. Practice waking up on time. Well, practice waking up early, and being on time is everything. It's either you're on time or you're late when you're an adult. Because when you late to shit, you miss opportunities that you could have had if you was on time. So being late is like one of my biggest pet peeves. I always strive to be on time or like early. Early is the best thing. It's nothing wrong with being a good 15-10 minutes early, because when you're 10 minutes early to something, people see the initiative that you're taking to be on time. It shows that you want to position you're in. You want to work harder than the rest of the people that are in that position, that are in that classroom that you're in. And honestly, if a teacher sees you working hard, they'll help you with certain things. And if going through academics, being a valedictorian, listening to a third of your class, if that's what you want to do, be buddy with the teacher, be a teacher's pet. What I've learned that the teachers pass, the people that are buddy with the teachers, the kids who raise their hands, are the niggas who actually make it at the end of the day. The kids that sit in the bag, putting their head down, look good on Instagram. 99% of the time, they just look good on Instagram. You have to build something other than looking good on your social media accounts, because it doesn't sustain at the end of the day. It's not gonna last. You have to build yourself, build your business. And the only way that you'll sustain and be able to live forever is people love you. And so it's a rod you throw out to see if you'll make it or not, but you never know until you take that jump. You never know until you take that leap. Hey yo, pick up your pants or wear a belt, because sagging does not look good at all. Just know, you do not look good. And I know it's like, if it's what you like, but if you like to sag, just know that shit do not look good. This may be promoting bad behavior, but don't do none of them stupid ass school Fridays.